guys, so welcome back to another tutorial in the bug tracker series. Today we're going to be making a page for being able to view the bugs and implementing it into our React router. So first things first, if we create a folder called pages and we'll start organizing our folders a bit. Inside there, if we do viewbugs.jsx, and we will import React from React, we'll export default, arrow function and return, and inside the return we're going to have a div. Now we're going to make a class name. This is going to be a global class name, and we are going to call that page container. And inside there we're going to want to get the bugs from our bug slice. So if we import from React Redux, and we're going to want to get use dispatch and use selector, and I'm going to make a constant, call it dispatch, and we'll use dispatch, and we'll get another constant, and we're going to destructure and get bugs, and we're going to use our selector and return this state. So now we've got the state and we are using the dispatch. We need to get the bugs. So to do that we need to use the dispatch of get bugs. So if we import the slice from our Redux and then the bug slice, and we're going to want to get the bugs. So we need to run get bugs when this first gets rendered. So if we import from React, we're going to bring in useEffect. Now useEffect is the hook version of onComponentMounted and things like that. So if we use effect and we pass in a arrow function, and inside there we're going to want to dispatch, and we'll dispatch get bugs. Now useEffect, if you use a hook inside a useEffect, useEffect will continuously run every time this gets rendered, which is not what we want. So we got to pass in another option basically, and they take it as a array, which I'm not sure exactly why, but they take it as an array. What we want to do is we only want this to run when bugs is null. So if we get the bugs, and we'll say .length, and if the length is smaller than 1, then this will run, otherwise don't run. So now we're getting the bugs, we can map through them and get the data from them. So if we get bugs.map, and we'll have bug, and we'll have key. It would help if I put it inside of some curly braces so it actually lets me do it. So now we're getting the data, we need a component to be able to put the data into. So if we make a folder, we'll call it bug card, and inside there we'll create two files, which will be bugcard.jsx, we'll put that inside the folder, and bugcard.css. So inside the bugcard.jsx we need to import React and bring in all the boilerplate that we normally need for a React. So we'll export default and return. So inside this return we're going to have a div with a class name of bugcard, and inside the bugcard we're going to have a h2, and we're going to have a class name of name, and then we are going to get the props. So we need to pass some props in to the arrow function, and we're going to get the props.name and display it in the h2. Now if we copy and paste this, we'll do it 3 times, and we're going to change the h2 to a h4 and the h2 to a h5. We'll change the class name to priority, and we'll change the class name to version, and we'll do the same thing to props. That's pretty much all we need to do inside the bug card, but we are going to add a function. So let's add a function, and we'll call this clicked, and inside the clicked we want to pass this function back to a prop so we can call something back on the page view. We want to pass back the name of the bug as well. So if we get props, and we'll have clicked, and we'll call clicked, and we'll pass back in props.name. We're going to add the onClick function to the whole card itself, and we'll call clicked. So if we import the bugcard.css, we can now go and style bugcard. So we'll bring in bugcard, and we'll give it a background. So I'm going to set this background globally, and we'll call it card color, and we'll give that a color of CAE1FF, which is just an off-white. And we'll go back to our bug card, and we'll give that the background color of card color, and then I want to give it a box shadow. So we'll do 2 pixels, 2 pixels, 2 pixels, and then we'll have the color to be our prime color, and then I want all the text to be center aligned. Text align center. Gonna have a gap between them all, so let's do a margin of 10 pixels. And then I want to have a min width, and we'll set that to 275 pixels, and a minimum height. And the reason we're setting the minimum width and minimum height is because inside the page container that we will create in a minute, it will stop it resizing it down any smaller than that, because it's going to be inside of a flexbox. So if we save that, and we'll create this page container. So if we go inside of our index.css, and we'll create this page container. So if we get the page container, and this is going to be a flexbox, so we'll do display flex, and we want the contents inside to wrap, so we'll set the flex wrap to wrap. We're going to have a gap between the items of 20 pixels. We're going to center all of the items inside of the flexbox, and we will make this page container be inside a column 2, so it's getting pushed away from the sidebar. So if we save that, and let's have a look at the bug card. Okay, so in Viewbugs now, we can import this bug card that we just created. bug card, bug card. So now we've got that imported. If we go into our map and we create the bug card, we're going to pass a key, because when you map anything in React it needs an identifier. So we'll pass the key in, and then in the props we will pass in bug. Close that off. So save that. Now before we actually start and run it, we won't be able to see anything because we're not actually using this inside of our app because we haven't set up any routes. So if you go into the app.js, we need to import the page. So let's import that. View bug page from views pages Viewbugs. So we'll do that and we'll put it below the sidebar and bring that in. So save that and we'll go into our front end. So cd front end, npm start, and let's see what that looks like. Okay, we can't find module bug card. Inside bug card. Oh, I missed out my / so save that. So now if we log in quickly, so we're getting this error because inside the app.js I've got bug instead of bug. So we're just going to change that one to bugs because that's going to be multiple, not just one. And sign in again. You see we're getting 2 cards, but there's no words on it at the moment, and that's because I'm passing the bug in as props. Instead, I'll pass it in as bug, and we go to our card, and we'll make a constant, and we're going to destructure name, priority, and version, and we'll destructure that from props.bug. And then we'll just get it from name, priority, and version. So we'll save that, go log back in, and we should be getting, there we go. So now we're displaying it. We're going to lay these out a little bit better on screen. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to click it. Yeah, we're not going to be able to click yet. So now that we've got this displaying the text, I will want these colors of the text to change depending on what priority it is. So high priority being red, low priority being green. So if we make a controller, and we'll call this priority controller.js, open that one up. We're going to make a constant, and let's call this colors. So inside this constant, we're going to have an array of different color hashes. So for the first one, I'm going to do B33A3A, which is going to be our red one. I'm going to have FF6700 for a nice orange, and I'm going to have 32CD 32 for a nice green. And then we're going to export default, and we're going to make a function, and this will take the priority in. So that'll be the number that we're passing in, and we'll make a constant because in here we don't want to be displaying the number 1 because no one's going to understand that. We want to turn the number into the equivalent in words. So if we make an array and we'll say high, and I'll do low. So now we've got the words. and the colors, we just need to pass back an object of both after it's been processed. So we'll do an object and we'll pass back level, and we'll do level priority that we got passed in -1. That way, if we get 1, it will pass back index 0, and so on. And then we'll pass back color, and that'll be colors. And then we'll do priority -1 again. So then that's just going to pass back the color. So if we save that and go back into the card JSX, we want to import the controller we just made, and we'll call that priority controller. And that'll be from controllers, priority controller. When we've got that, we want to process the color as soon as we're rendering. So let's get the priority color. We'll destructure and we'll get level and we'll get color, and we will use the priority controller and we're going to call it, and this took the priority, so we'll get the priority we've just destructured above and pass that in. So now we're getting the level in text and we're getting the color. We will pass the level into the priority H4, and we want to color the text for all of this. So if we make an inline style, now in React, to do inline styles you need to do 2 curly braces, and we're going to set the color, and we are going to pass in the color and save that. Let's log in. We're now getting a nice color. Now we want to have a hover over effect on this, because when you click on it, at the moment we're going to get an error, but when you click on it, we want it to open up the bugs. And see, as you see, we get an error because we don't actually have a prop clicked. So let's go into our card CSS and we'll get bug card, and we'll use the pseudo hover. We'll do a transition of everything for 0.3 seconds. And we're going to do transform, and we're going to change the scale. And we're just going to scale it up to 1.05 of its original scale. So if we save and let's go and have a look. So now we've got a nice hover effect and it's working nicely. So now we've got our bugs being displayed. We are at the moment displaying it on every single page. So we need to create a route for these to display in. So inside our app.js, we need to import from the React router DOM, we need to import a couple more things. So we'll import switch and route. And inside of where all of our content is going to be, we want to wrap all of it apart from sidebar in the switch and make a route element. And this takes a parameter of path. Now the path will be the same as what we set the link to in the sidebar. So we'll make the Viewbugs to Viewbugs. So we'll go view/Viewbugs, and then we'll pass in side of that the Viewbug element page. We'll save. So you go to dashboard, and we've got nothing rendering because there's no root. Go to Viewbugs, and now we've got 2 bugs. So now we're getting the error of onClicks not being a function. If we go into our Viewbugs page, and we'll create a function just to get rid of this error, saying bug clicked. And if you remember, we were passing back the bug name when it gets clicked there. So we'll change that to name, and we will change this to name. And for now, we're just going to leave that blank just so it doesn't throw an error, because in the next tutorial we're going to create the bug view page and we'll add it in here. And then on the bug card we need to pass in the prop clicked and call bug clicked. So then that will stop that error happening. So if we save that and go and have a look at the bug view page, now if we click on that, it's not going to do anything, but it's not going to throw an error. In the next tutorial, I'll be implementing the bug view so it actually can view all the details on the bugs, and we're going to make the create bug page so the admin can actually create the bugs themselves. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and at least learnt something new. If you have, please like and subscribe, and join me in the next and upcoming tutorials.